the MI Golf Podcast with Paul Kelly and Maurice J.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening to the MI Golf Podcast, episode
53, Maurice.
53. And on the programme this week, Mr. Kelly,
we've been chatting to the voice of golf, that's Peter Alliss, at the launch of a new charity event.
The legend, Mr. Peter Alliss. We've our usual roundup of all the pro and amateur news.
Yeah, we'll take a look back at the NI Open, which is won by Scottish newcomer Callum Hill.
And Tiger versus Phil. I wonder, would you?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Definitely not? You're not going to be tempted to part with 25 quid or whatever it is to watch?
Definitely not. But I think we shall discuss further, Maurice. What do you reckon?
We shall. So let's get cracking today. Peter Alliss, still to many the voice of golf, was in town to unveil details of a charity golf event coming up to Northern Ireland next year. The Peter Alliss Masters raises money to provide powered chairs for disabled children. Paul caught up with Peter and the man himself taking on the organising role in Ireland. That's Michael Moss, formerly the GM at Portstewart Golf Club, to hear all about it.
So Michael, first things first, just give us an outline of exactly what the Peter Alliss Masters event's about.
Well, Paul, the Peter Alliss Masters has been running for 45 years. It started about 1974, a guy called George Mackey. Then they got Peter Alliss involved. So they're raising money for wheelchairs for handicapped children. And Peter, as I say, has been involved in that for 30 years. So the whole outline of today is to get this is the first time we've ever had a mission in Ireland. We've never come to Ireland before. And the mission is to give people a chance in Ireland to support this charity.
Simply, how do they do that? What will the event look like?
Sure. It's we're having a wee conference today. As you know, there's going to be a press release. So basically, this is it in a nutshell. Clubs, or it can be outside golf clubs. It could be anybody in business or the wider community. There are packages to get involved in this. Now, the overall package is going to cost somewhere in the region of £4,500 to £5,000. Let's go to golf clubs first. If a golf club can raise that level of money, they will then provide a wheelchair, which will be presented at the Open at Royal Portrush next July. So that club will be there to present that wheelchair. That wheelchair will also go to a local child. It's who will be recommended and sought out by the charity and in conjunction with the golf club. So that'll all be done. That'll be done there.
And is there a golf day element to this as well?
Yes, there is. So the golf club would also have, if they ran a competition and they ran it in 3 balls, the 3 people who won it will go to the Peter Alliss Masters. So that's in England in September. So they do the wheelchair at the Open at Royal Portrush in July, and in September those 3 would go to the Peter Alliss Masters. It could be mixed as well. So if they win that, if they're lucky enough to win that, if they're in the Stableford points, the gentleman would win a Peter Alliss Masters jacket, and the lady would win a Peter Alliss pashmina.
And how did you get involved in this? Did you get roped in without knowing it some night?
Yeah, roped in is about right. I got a call from my old friend Maureen Medill, who obviously works with Peter Alliss and the BBC, and also, of course, was a member of Portstewart back in the day, and British Ladies Champion, Curtis Cup, etc., etc. And Peter Alliss or Jackie Alliss had said to her, "Would you know anybody in Ireland that might might do something?" And she said, "Moss." So I got a call and I thought, well, we could. I didn't know anything really about it. I went down to the Irish Golf Writers last November and mentioned it there, and there was quite a good wee bit of feedback about it. And then Jackie Alliss and John Slocum, who helps Jackie, they came over. They flew over to Belfast in March, and so the thing sort of formulated from there, and that's why. So our focus is on next year, but the focus is going ahead, year after year, because it's very difficult to get the word out through 400 golf clubs or through different other avenues. So we're happy that this will, spread out. But really, we're with the Open being at Royal Portrush and not having been there for 68 years, it's a fantastic opportunity to highlight this.
So Peter's plane, unfortunately, Maurice, was a bit delayed flying in. But when he did eventually arrive, he sat down, he talked a wee bit about the charity, but he also spent some time talking about his memories of the last time the Open was played here back in 1951.
Well, I remember an awful lot of people. The interesting thing to me is that all the men wore raincoats and trilby hats. The women all looked as if they were dressed to go shopping. Nobody had they didn't have golfing gear then. I mean, you can go buy golfing kit, over trousers and a jacket. You look like a golfer now, but you didn't then. Everybody smoked. The spectators were allowed on the fairway. They were controlled with a bit of rope. The stewards were across the fairway. The stewards were round the greens with a rope. It was all right. And you tend to forget that, in those days, 5,000 or 6,000 people looked a hell of a big crowd. Yeah. Now it's 20,000 or 30,000 people a day. And that's when the Ryder Cup looks so huge, because you only have 4 games out on the course and you have 10,000 people with each game. It looks incredible. You wonder how the hell they're all going to get round. But they do. But I remember the course, a very dramatic course. It was a bit of wild weather. I remember Max Faulkner, who won, playing his shot from the 17th, I think it was, up against the railing on the wire fence on the left, playing a miraculous shot to sort of scoop it up on the green. Tony Serta from Argentina, who finished a lovely, lovely fella. I remember all those memories. They were very clear memories.
Would you have imagined that it would have taken so long to come back? And also, are you surprised in any way with the fact that it's sold out?
I'm not surprised it's sold out. The interesting thing was, I think at those times it was quite a hassle to get here. Yeah. People didn't jump on planes at a minute's notice then. Yeah. So there was only the boat to come on. Mm. So you had to book on the thing and bring your car. Not everybody had. People forget in 1950, not everybody had a motor car. Pretty well everybody seems to have a motor car today. 2 cars families, 3 car families, 5 car families, if you got children at home. But there was the problem of getting here. There was the problem of access. They thought, looking to the future, there was a problem with accommodation. Lots of B&Bs, but not many hotels with ensuite accommodation. And still to this day, around Portrush, there's not a glut of hotels, and not a glut of, the simple hotels like Howard Johnson or Holiday Inn or that sort of thing. There isn't. Doesn't matter how you wrap it up. It's just a fact. So there were lots of things to ponder. Then there were all the problems that went on for 25 years, and which put people off. As things were changing, would people come? Would everybody be safe? Would there be demonstrations? That sort of thing. And now things are so much better, I think, although problems seem to appear from other directions now, but I'm not surprised it's sold out because of the enthusiasm of the Irish for sport. I think golf and horse racing and shinty probably, the old Gaelic or whatever. That's fantastic. I think it's an incredible game. And people turn up to watch. They watch the horse and the golf, and they love the golf. And I've been over the last couple of years at the Irish Open, and both at Portstewart and Ballyliffin, and it was fantastic. I didn't go to Ballyliffin, but I was at Portstewart, and the weather was good. If the weather's half decent, they come out in their tens of thousands. And the golf was good. And I think if we're blessed with decent weather, there'll be some snags at the Open. No good kidding yourself. We don't have motorways right up to the front door. We don't have 100 acres of hard-standing car parks. All right, we've got the other course to park on. But God forbid it's pouring with rain. You don't want to turn the other course into a mud bath. So you've got to think about these things. You don't just swan along and say, it'll all be great. It could be great. It could be memorable, because the course is wonderful and the setting is wonderful, and if it all works and you get the right winner, it'll be sensational.
He's not far off the mark when it comes to Portrush as it is today. Remembering back, 50-something years? 67 years. 67 years, and he remembers all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. You forget what age Peter Alliss is because he's been such a part of your life. on the TV for forever. He was where everybody was watching golf on TV long before Sky Television.
Do you remember Pro Celebrity Golf?
Vaguely.
Who are you trying to kid?
Vaguely.
Who are you trying to kid? He was the commentator for Pro
brilliant.
Celebrity Golf as well.
And he was always good at taking a wee needle at the celebs.
I think it was on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock on BBC Two.
You were glued to it, weren't you?
Well, I used to watch it because my dad used to watch it as well, you see. And we used to have a wee tiny black and white portable in the kitchen. And I think my dad got booted into the kitchen while Mum was watching something else. And we were there, and it was up on the shelf watching Pro Celebrity Golf. And of course, he was the voice of that as well. Nice to talk to him today.
It was. He did very well getting over, because he said he had a few technical hitches playing wise, but he got there. Still doing strong. 87 years old, Mark. Still going strong.
I know. On the subject of Royal Portrush, I seem to remember a few weeks ago that we urged listeners to get their tickets for next year's event before they sold out. And what have they gone and done?
Sold out.
But we did warn you. Tickets for Thursday through to Sunday, Championship days, have totally gone. There are still some tickets available for the practice day, so if you want to see any of Tiger, you basically need to get a practice day ticket now and get up there and get sorted.
Yeah, that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. They're all still available for around about £15, which is pretty good value, I would say, for that. But the RNA have also said, and they're also keen on get people being aware of this, be aware of people trying to sell you tickets on
that don't exist
on some of these sellback sites like Viagogo and Safe Tickets and StubHub and eBay and these things. Go to the official
RNA ticket sales. Yes.
If you just so you don't end up starting at the gate and somebody saying, "Sorry,
your name's not down. You're not coming in."
Get the best prices on every round of golf with Hot Deals Tea Times exclusively from Golf Now. Available at more than 1,600 golf clubs throughout the UK and Ireland. Hot Deals save you up to 80% on thousands of tea times daily. Find the flame and save every time you play with Hot Deals, only from Golf Now.
On with the pro news, Mr. Kelly.
In the last podcast we spoke about the brave new plans for the next year's NI Open, how it was going to become a tournament that's featuring the LET and the Challenge Tour. Well, the final old style NI Open was won by a young Scot called Callum Hill, who charged through the field with a closing 64 to collect the title. And I was up there for a good part of that tournament, and I talked to a whole lot of the players over the course of the week, and guess who was the one person that I didn't interview?
Will be the winner.
The winner, the Kelly touch. He can really pick them. Good winner. Another classic tournament, lower scoring than I've seen before, but I think, I got the feeling that now was the time for change.
I think you're right. Just in terms of the event itself and the coverage and the spectators and everything, that was perfect timing.
Exactly.
Just to mix it up a wee bit, and it's, as we talked about last time, it's amazing to have the full LET on board.
It's going to be, fingers crossed, a huge event, and well done everybody up Galgorm.
It was a good but not brilliant week for the locals. Cormac Sharvin had his best result of the year, finishing tied for 9th. Johnny Caldwell finished 13th and Dermot McIlroy 16th. But it's better than other previous years.
Dermy and Johnny are both doing a bit of work with Gareth Maben up there as well, so they're starting to show signs of moving in the right direction. Now, the Challenge Tour has moved on to France for the Cordon Golf Open this week. Paul McBride, Neil O'Brien, Stephen Grant, Gavin Moynihan, Rory McGee, Cormac Sharvin, Michael Hoey, Johnny Caldwell and Dermy McIlroy are all featuring. There's only a handful of events left to secure their playing rights for next season, and some of the lads really need to start motoring.
On the European Tour this week, it's the Made in Denmark tournament, but unfortunately there are no Irish players involved this week. However, that is the last qualifying event for the Ryder Cup. Padraig Harrington did brilliantly last week at the Czech Masters, finishing second behind Andre Pavon on 22 under par. And I think we have Borg.
Yeah, it was a good contest, no doubt about it. I obviously feel, I didn't feel like I lost it. I won it for sure. He played great there coming home. He held a decisive putt. So, yeah, look, I'd have to be in that position every week, and I'll get my fair share of wins. But it wasn't my day today.
To be 20 under, that's the best we've ever had here, apart from Pavan. So that must give you a lot of confidence with how well you played this week.
Look, to shoot 20 under par in any golf course, you got to put some numbers together. So I'm happy with that. As I said, Andrea just finished really well. He played lovely golf all day, to be honest, and you know, he made the putts at the decisive time, made those birdies coming home, and it's a pity, but you know, as I said, I'll settle for playing like this most weeks, and I will give myself plenty of chances to win, and I know it's a numbers game that you know, some weeks it will be my turn for the putts to drop and the right shot at the right time.
He was playing really, really, really well.
You see the new swing thing he's got going?
Well, that's it. There was a fair bit of debate on Twitter, and I kind of wade into a couple of discussions
Not
about
like
it.
you.
Not like me. Just talking about what the hell's going on with the swing.
Now?
What's this wee twitch he's doing? What's he doing with his left foot? You know, and
He said something about the move, that wee sort of initial take back, and then it's almost like a wee mini takeaway, isn't it? It's giving him an extra 6 miles per hour or something like that there.
really.
That's what he's saying. So I might be trying that one.
See, there was a video that appeared which was him doing a drill on the range where he was knocking the golf ball back out of the road on his takeaway. Right now, normally that is you kind of to slow you down, so slow your takeaway. So you basically just roll the ball backwards as you're doing your takeaway.
Can't snatch it always.
No, so you kind of just take the ball away slowly, and it rolls away to the back of the tee or whatever. But he was kind of knocking it out to the right, behind him. You know what I mean? So the club, and then he was kind of knocking the ball off to the right a wee bit, and I'm thinking, and he was jerking, he was stopping.
Yeah.
So I was trying, I've never seen it done like that before. The foot thing, yes, we've seen that before. At the Irish Open last year, he was doing the full step through.
Yes, right.
So he was taking a step after he hit the ball, the way he went. But I've never seen that he sort of knock the ball back out to the right.
It's never boring, Harrington, is it?
He's always tinkering with something.
Yeah. As you said, the main Denmark tournament is the end of the line in terms of the Ryder Cup. So Torbjorn Olsen currently occupies the 8th and final automatic spot. Matt Fitzpatrick and Eddie Pepperham could well pip him this week with a good result. So of those three, right, and we're not even worrying about who might get selected, but of those three, who would you go for currently?
I would probably go with Thorbjorn.
Based on form?
Just based on, Matty's not really been on form. Eddie Pepperell hasn't been out of the picture for a while.
Eddie Pepperell is weird. He can be very up and very down. But I agree. I think Thorbjorn's been thereabouts before. And okay, when he's hot, he's very hot, and he can go off the boil a lot as well. But good, strong player in his day.
A wee birdie tells me that Lee Westwood could be in the offing for a captain's pick.
Surely not.
This was the boys down south. Fionn and the boys and Joe and Peter Lorre. They were discussing it, and Peter Lorre seems to be quite friendly, or knows, Thomas Bjorn quite a fair bit, and he seems to think that Lee West was going to get a pick, which is like
baffling.
Yeah, what?
After the last time when he got a pick,
I know, and that was mates rates as well. Yeah. So
he's hardly ripped it up over the last.
No, exactly. So it's
steady, but nothing spectacular.
I would say that your man will become under extreme pressure if he does that, and especially if Westwood could pull it out of the bag and do
win something,
performance win something. And a couple of times recently, he's not been too bad. He's been thereabouts on a couple of occasions.
That would be a big move, more
strange, isn't it? Over in the States, the second of the FedEx Cups events, the Dell Championship at the TPC Boston, with Rory in the field. Seamus Power bowed out following last week's Northern Trust event won by Bryce. Him. He shall not be mentioned.
I know you didn't like that one.
Bryson DeChambeau. But it was still a great season for Seamus, who secured his PGA Tour place for the next season by the skin of his teeth, finishing 125th. He didn't actually finish 125th. He finished 128th or something, was it?
Yeah, and then other people.
And then he had to wait for Sergio to blow up.
And he blew. Didn't he blow up? If you're really being honest now, it's been a pretty disappointing season from a home player perspective on the main tours. Rory won at Bay Hill, Dunners and Gavin won at Super Sixes, but success has been pretty thin on the ground, and Graham, McDowell, Shane Lowry and Pádraig Harrington all lost full PGA Tour statuses. So
that was the big shocker.
Do you know what I
mean? And that just shows you how high the standard is. Yeah. When those boys,
can't keep a card,
and and it's, I guess it's kind of survival of the fittest. It's natural selection in a way.
It is.
So
And if you get into those couple of WGC events, it's a sort of virtuous circle.
But you see, that's the bit that some people aren't overly happy with, because then it rewards those that are there, you know. And Darren Clark finished tied for 25th on the Champions Tour debut at the Boeing Classic in Washington. He was well up for it, you know. If you saw his pressers, and he was doing a charm offensive. Did you see how charming and smiley and lovely he was with the female presenter he was talking to?
Darren wants to put on the charm
on the Champions Tour, and he was, yes, my dear, and I'm misquoting perhaps slightly, but he was gracious, and then as soon as the media started asking, goes, well, what do you want to know? It was almost a slight wee change in the tone. Them friggin' media. Don't dislike. Anyway, where are we?
Yes, the rounds that he posted were.
Oh yes, so Clark posted rounds of 68, 76 and 66 at the tournament, won by Scott Parrell. Darren returns to action on the Shaw Charity Classic this week.
And there's just 6 events remaining on the Symetra Tour. Stephanie Meadow remains well placed to get one of the 10 LPGA cards on offer. She's currently second in the rankings, and she's playing this week's at the Sioux Falls Great Life Challenge.
Sioux Falls.
Sorry. As does Leona McGuire.
As in Susie and the Banshees.
Okay, of course.
Here, just thinking, what would Clark have got for making the cut for 25th?
Do you know what? I haven't a clue what the money's like.
It'd be interesting to have we look at it for next time and just see what kind of dough they're getting for a regular Champions Tour event.
You look at that, right? 68, 76, 66, right? So even if he'd shot a 70 in the second round, he wasn't going to be too far away.
Yeah. Brendan McGovern, Des Smith, Eamon Darcy, Philip Walton and Dennis O'Sullivan are in action on the Stayshire Tour and the Travis Perkins Masters.
I think that's a typo. That's a wee typo.
Is at Woburn Golf Club from the 31st to the 2nd.
And finally, good luck to everyone down at Tull Forest Golf Resort and Pat Barrett and everybody there who are hosting a Prem Group Irish Masters Pro-Am on the Europro Tour.
At clubstohire.com, you can take all the hassle out of your golf travel and rent your clubs before you fly. Clubs to Hire offer the very latest sets from just £32 per week, including the brand new M4 clubs from TaylorMade. And Clubs to Hire have just opened 3 new locations in Australia. That's 26 locations worldwide. So wherever you're travelling to play golf, choose the easy option and hire your clubs at clubstohire.com.
It says here on with the amateur news, but before we do that, tell us all about your fantastic opportunity to win an All-Ireland medal.
I knew you were going to say this. I knew you were going to get stuck into this.
Tell everybody about your All-Ireland chance to win a medal in the, what was it, the foursomes?
The All-Ireland 4-ball, yes.
The All-Ireland 4-ball. You got right through to the final.
The Ulster final, County Armagh.
You were playing...
Nuirmore in Dungannon on Sunday.
So hang on, you were playing Nuirmore and the venue was Dungannon, so there was a neutral venue.
Neutral venue, yes. I had to put us in neutral venue, and it was 5 matches, that's 10 people.
And this is the All-Ireland 4-ball?
This is the Ulster version of it. You qualify from your province to go to the
But you've done that and you were in the All-Ireland final?
No. We were trying to win Ulster to qualify.
Oh, right, okay. Yes. So you didn't even win the province?
Well, no. We got beaten.
I thought you'd won that already.
No, it took us... Look, there's about 90-odd teams playing this.
And you were beaten by?
Nuirmore.
So what was the team from Germany where they held the Nazi trials? What were they doing over here?
The Nuremberg.
Nuremberg. Where is that? Where is that golf club?
It's in Carrickmacross.
All right.
By the way, congratulations to Nuirmore, he says, through gritted teeth.
So many did they beat you?
3.5 to 1.5. I know.
Did you get a half?
Morris was beaten on the last.
That's not... Oh, are you really?
Morris, don't... Listen,
on the last,
you're going to make me cry.
Oh no, I don't. No,
you're going to make me cry.
We don't want that.
Yeah, we were beating on the last, Morris, and you know the worst.
Did he beat you with a birdie?
A par from raked in from long distance.
How many foot?
About 16 foot.
On the last,
and we 3-putted.
Right.
But it was from 50 feet. And Morris
felt like it.
Morris, we were 4 up after 7.
You need some help with this, I would say.
I need a hug.
Right. After we finish the show. So, fire on then with proper amateur news.
Yes, real golfers now. The World Amateur Team Championship got underway today. That's Wednesday at Carton House. Paula Grant, Annabelle Wilson and Olivia Mahaffey are in action. They're hoping to improve on the bronze medal Ireland claimed 2 years ago in Mexico. And the women's event is where they play for the Espirito Santo Trophy. And it's on from Wednesday to Saturday. The men will compete for the Eisenhower Trophy at the same venue, September the 5th to September the 8th. And here's Olivia and Paula speaking before play got underway.
I personally don't have any expectations for this week. I just want to have a really good time, enjoy it. I think I tend to play better when I'm having a good time, so I think it's exciting. It's in Ireland. I love playing in front of people. I think both you girls would agree with that, and hopefully we get some good crowds. And in Mexico we had no expectations. It was a big surprise to us to get a bronze medal, so it would be lovely to do the same thing again, but hole by hole and day by day.
Yeah, I think just the same as what Olivia's been saying. You can't really set a target because there's 4 rounds and 2 scores from each player, so you can make such a huge jump up every day, or 2 bad players might have a bad day, so you can't really say what your expectations are. We're just going to keep preparing the way we always have, and just take a good look at the courses and just take each day as it comes, I think.
Irish golf in about 5-10 years, I think, is going to be in a very, very strong position. Even sooner than that, probably, in terms of the young ones coming through.
In terms of the females?
Females and the men as well, and the boys.
Well, you look at that. There's Olivia's going to turn pro hopefully in a year or two. Annabelle's probably going to go to college in America. UCLA, she's got
very nice.
She's got a wee. They're looking at her, so she's going there. You have Stephanie, you have the 2 Maguires. Really, Irish ladies golf could be really on the up.
Very strong.
Which is why you can see why the LET event next year and the year after could be big draw, So a lot of the best amateurs in the world are going to be playing here over the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be, if you're into your golf, there's some real stars of the future along
and we've
there.
had some great tournaments already.
Yeah.
In the last 3-4 weeks.
That's right.
The boys.
If you want to register, you can register via WATC 2018.ie. It's free parking, there's easy access, and more importantly, and you'd like this, there's no ropes.
You can just dander around?
You can dander around.
Is that a good thing?
Well, there's not going to be thousands of people. Literally, you will be able to walk within 10 yards of those players.
I know, but I guess actually it's because it's only going to be golf fans that go to see this.
Exactly.
So most golf fans will know where they can and can't walk, and not get in the way, and not be in their line and stuff.
Not starting the road if somebody's trying to hit a shot.
Right.
Now, today's play is already finished, and China are leading on 6 under, along with Japan. Ireland are on 3 under. I think that's tied for 6th at the minute. Olivia shot the best round of the day at 2 under. Annabelle was 1 under, and Paula was +2.
Good luck, the girls. The men's Interpros have also got underway today and finish on Friday in Athenry, with Leinster chasing a 4th successive victory. The Ulster team is Rhys Black, Ross Dutton, Peter Kerr, Matt McLean, Mark McKinstry, Tiernan McLaren, Mark Norton, and Rory Williamson from just up the road here.
And a lot of the interclub competitions have been coming to a conclusion over the last fortnight or so.
Well, you're not going to cry, are you? Oh, is this mentioned here? Oh, and I couldn't even wait. I couldn't even wait to give the result.
Marsh, could you finish the rest of that for me?
Yes, I certainly can. So congrats to all the winners who will progress to represent Ulster in the All-Ireland Cups and Shields, which will not include Royal Armagh. In the Senior Cup, Royal Portrush came out on top. Lisburn won the Jimmy Bruin. Ballyclare won the Pierce Purcell. Ballybuffet and Stranraer won the mixed foursomes, unfortunately. Fort William collected the Junior Cup, and Nuramore, won the All-Ireland 4-Ball Interclub Championship, beating Royal Armagh 3.5 to 1.5 on the final green. Mr. Kelly lost his match by 3 putting. But apart from that, he's not that bitter.
Not that annoyed or bitter about it.
Moran's Danny Williamson claimed the Ulster Under-16 Close Championship at Kirkston, beating Greenacre's Ross Campbell in the final. Andrew Morris and David Simpson won the... Andrew Morris?
The one and only.
Morris?
Yes.
And David Simpson won the Ulster Scratch foursomes with a better second round score from Stephen and Darren Crowe after both had finished on a score of 145. We have to play his advert shortly.
And Morris Hollywood.
Oh, I know all about this.
Won the All-Ireland Girls Interclub Championship at Knock Golf Club. They beat County Louth in the final.
The girls were ecstatic.
There was the great pictures. The great pictures. Smiles were brought. And also at Knock, Lahinch beat Allen Park to lift the All-Ireland Senior Cup.
And speaking of Mr. Morris,
Andrew Morris Golf now offers 12 months interest-free credit on everything bought online and in store. New golf clubs or that electric trolley you've been dreaming of for as little as £30 per month. Drive the extra mile to drive away happy. Check out andrewmorrisgolf.com for full terms and conditions. Andrew Morris Golf on the web and at Laganview Golf Centre, Lambeg.
And that is it for episode
53.
53. It's a bit shorter, which is good. We're trying to make it even more punchy and succinct and get it out there, and saves me editing for 17 hours.
So at the start of March we talked about Phil and Tiger, and for people who maybe haven't heard, and where have you been? Phil and Tiger later in the year are playing a duel in the sun.
Yeah, this has been on the cards for a while. They've been talking about doing this for a while.
Phil even joined Twitter.
But to promote it, did they?
God. So it's what, 9 or 10 million or something?
9 million.
For a one-off game.
I think, 9 million for a one-off game. It's going to be on pay-per-view or box office or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think they were saying $25 maybe or something like that.
What?
I would probably go to the back door to watch it. I don't know if I'd pay $25.
I can't understand why people think they will.
Because because the hype will get people wrapped up in it.
But it's false hype. It's not as if they're boxers. And
it's not as if there's anything on the line. It's just it's £9 million of other people's money.
Well, that's just what I was thinking, Morris. Here's an idea for you. I want the two boys to put up 9 million of their own money.
Aye, then we'd see. Then you'd watch it.
Then you'd watch it.
Every winner takes all, 18 mil.
Yes. Now they're suddenly, or even better. What about this? $1. Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson.
No.
Well, wait to hear. Playing for $1 that they have to sign, and it has to be framed and put in the person's house.
Nah. Yeah.
Now you want the 9 million?
It has to be a substantial, even $1 million each.
Yeah, of their own money.
Of their own dough.
And then everybody's watching.
Yeah, and that's the mistake they've made. They should have just made it up, even if it wasn't their own dough. They should have said it's their own dough.
Yeah.
What are KPMG and what's the other? Who's the other sponsor?
I kind of switched off.
Is it TaylorMade going to put up the dough?
No, I don't know.
Who is it for Tiger under?
I don't know, Mars. I guess.
But that if it had been their own money, then that would have been fantastic.
I thought it was a bit naff.
It is. It's two old fellas. They're nearly at Champions Tour level. Going to be. Who wants to watch that? But they'll not be the same venom.
No, that's.
I don't think. There's just. It's just.
There's no edge to it.
There's no reason.
No, exactly.
If it was one loses their card, bingo.
Exactly.
Well,
one loses their car.
The car? Which car in particular? Yeah.
Their Lamborghini.
So no, I'll not be going out of my way to watch it. If it pops up free somewhere on some.
Be interesting to see now later in the year how many people take it up. Be interesting to see.
Anyway, that's us.
That's us until the next time, Mars.
What's the date now? We're at the end of August. Is there anything on the horizon for the next?
Mars, the Ryder Cup.
Oh, that's in a couple of weeks' time.
Tours of May and Mars.
That's it. We're playing the Ryder Cup again in about 2 weeks' time. We're playing Ardglass and
Warren
Point. It's a 2-day tournament where the northern media take on the southern softies, and we've won it the last 2 years in a row.
We have. Mars, am I allowed to play after my collapse?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, who's the captain? Have they appointed a captain this year yet?
Well, I'll tell you what, who's not doing
I'll tell you who's not you. Choker. Choker Kelly. So we'll bring you news of that. It's things set up with the Tourism NI, and it's basically to highlight courses in the north to the southern audience. So that'll be fun. Apart from that, is there anything proper in any proper golf apart from Made in Denmark? And
no, we'll certainly know the Ryder Cup team this time next week.
We'll be very close by the time we do another show.
And I think the Ryder Cup will be on, and will also be. I would say Thomas Bjorn will have picked this team, and it'll be
Loopy
Lee Westwood, Sergio, and
Darren Clark.
All the Irelands will be back in.
That's it from us. Enjoy your golf if you're still playing. I'm sure you are. When does the Winter League kick in? End of September?
Look, what time of year do you think it is?
Somebody asked me yesterday, will I play Winter League? And I'm thinking, it's just good because the weather got bad. The weekend was awful.
It was.
So enjoy your golf over the next couple of weeks, and we'll see you in 2.
Alright, don't touch me.
Seawood, shaking that ass, shaking that ass, shaking that ass. Seawood, shaking that ass, shaking that ass, shaking that ass.
I see you, baby.